good win for us, especially coming off these two really tough losses that we've had. So it's great to get back in the win column. As I see it, we made a really good team, which South Dakota State is. We made them look pretty average tonight, and I think it's a credit to how well we played, especially on the defensive end. I have a lot of respect for their program, their players. Their coach is a really good coach. So really proud of the way we played tonight, and able to again, like, we played pretty well in a lot of areas. So still things to clean up. The fouling, as I'm looking at the stat sheet, something we got to get better at. But all in all, good win. Happy to get it and move forward to the next one. I'll let you guys ask questions for Sin and Jalen.
Jalen, just talk about what you were able to do from three tonight. 3 for 4, really got it going. Just talk about what you were able to do from behind the arc tonight.
It's easy to shoot when my teammates just find me the way they were tonight. So I just get open looks and I knock them down.
And then, Carey, just talk about what you were able to do in that second half. Slow start, but I mean, when you got it going, you got it going. Just talk about what you were able to do in the second half tonight.
Just playing in the offense, not trying to force too much, getting 2 feet in the paint, going off 2, and just taking shots that I work on that I get a lot of reps on each and every day.
And then you had 9 different scores tonight. This goes for either one of you. Just talk about what you guys are doing as a team. Moving the ball around, getting everyone involved, not focusing on one player. You're all sharing it. Just talk about what that's like as a team.
I mean, it's fun when anybody could bring the ball up, you pass it to somebody, everybody can shoot. It makes the game easier. It makes it easier for us to get downhill. But when we make the extra pass and keep moving, it's fun playing like that because it's hard to guard. And it kind of reminds me of our team last year, and it's a lot of success when we play like that.
Either one of you guys, since you're just Jalen's 11-0 run to start the game from Kent. Overall, as a team, how was the momentum used as a team together to get the momentum going?
I think it's great when we come out like that to get the first punch or whatever you want to call it, because it brings good energy and it wakes everybody up. And as a leader, I always try to make an impact play to start the game to make sure everybody's ready to go and show them that I'm ready because they usually follow right behind me. But once we start off 11-0 run, we just got to keep on building onto it and not getting complacent with it.
Other side of the ball, first basket from San Diego State at 16 minutes. So how's the defense be able to stop the other team or stop San Diego State from getting in?
South Dakota State.
South Dakota, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Just talking, knowing how we're playing, because they played out of the post a lot. So I give credit to our bigs. They made their bigs catch the ball off of the block, and I think we dug out the ball a lot, and we closed out on shooters and ran them off the line, and then we just rebounded the ball.
Yeah, one more for me. Just either one of you. 5 straight wins at home to start the season. What's it like? Knowing that you're rolling like that at the end of the season compared to last year. You started rolling towards the end of the season, but getting off this hot start, what's that like?
It feels good. It feels good to win at home. We should never lose at home. So we just got to keep it up. Yeah, it's good to come out here and play in front of a crowd. So definitely appreciate our fans, and we love playing in front of them. And the energy was great tonight. So to get them a win, it's bigger than us. So we just try to keep it going at home for them.
I'll let these guys. Anything else for these two guys?
No.
All right. Good job, fellas. See you tomorrow.
All right.
Okay. You want to take this? Go ahead. Fire away.
Prior to the game, what was learned by the team UC game last in the previous game?
Well, that's a number 1 team in the country, and had the lead with a minute 14 to go, and had a shot at the rim to take the lead with 30 seconds to go. We feel like we have a good team. Obviously, have a lot of respect for everybody we're playing against. We have a really tough non-conference schedule. So, when we played Portland a couple weeks ago, and we were able to win that game pretty, I don't want to say easily because that's not the right word, but handily with the final score. And same with tonight. These are really quality mid-major teams. These are like teams we're going to see in the MAC. Disappointing that we couldn't do it at College of Charleston, who is another really, really good mid-major team. And then you go play Houston, and you're like, okay, let's see how we can compete against what I consider it's the best. It's the number one team in the country, the most physical team in the country, the best defensive team in the country, the toughest team in the country year after year after year. So that's why we wanted to play those guys. And the fact that we were able to go toe to toe with them, I thought is a really positive. And now, we turn around and on Monday we're playing the best offensive team in the country, year in and year out. So, okay, we feel like we have a good offensive team too. So let's see how we can compete against, the best of the best in that. So I think the Houston game and the College of Charleston game, while disappointing in the outcomes, I think it did give our guys confidence that, if we can get ourselves into the opportunity to play teams like that on a neutral site, we feel like we can maybe win. But there's a long road to get to that. And, tonight's game was really important, I think, for the psyche of our group because we played really, really hard for 2 straight games, and we didn't come out on the right end of it. So, to be able to start out the game, you mentioned 11-0, I think it was 16-2 to start, just like, okay, to come with that energy. And then in the second half, we really scored the ball for a stretch there to extend the lead to over 20. So I think all those things are good signs, and we obviously have a long season ahead and things we have to get better at. Rebounding the basketball, defending without fouling. I mean, there's a lot of things we still have to improve upon.
Yeah, and then you mentioned rebounding. Just talk about Hornby's performance, a double-double. Not only that, he gets it done on the defense.
Yeah.
3 blocks. Just talk about what he's been doing this year.
Yeah, he's taken a huge step from last year. I mean, tonight again, double-double, but to me, being able to play, he played 27 minutes tonight, against an interior player. Like, they throw the ball inside. Their 2 front court kids are good players. So I thought that was really good. A couple things that he's just got to maintain his focus throughout the game because there were a couple plays there where, one of the fouls, I think it was just he lost focus on, and there was an offensive play out of a timeout where, we didn't execute it because he wasn't in the right spot. But he's getting, he barely played last year, right? He's 19 years old. So seeing the development out of him, that's great. I mean, it's great. And he's now, these guys are counting on him and expecting him to do what he did tonight, night after night. So, coming from where he was a year ago, it's awesome to see. And, again, for him, just maintaining his focus, maintaining his, his hunger to get better, those things are important. And I really think our strength coach, Coach B, has done with all these guys, but in particular a guy like Claron, who he's gotten so much better, in the off season, because of the work he's put in the weight room.
Yeah, and then another some stats that jump out at me is Jacob's performance. Last year I thought he was amazing defensively, and this thing he got even better. He's leading the nation in steals per game.
Yeah.
5 steals tonight, but not only that, but 7 assists, team high. Just talk about the season he's having.
Yeah.
How important is it to play to have that versatility?
Yeah, in the second half in particular, I thought he really, really passed the ball well in the second half. He's such a good player. He's still not playing at 100%. I mean, he's still not. So some of the explosiveness that he had, he got, injured early in the year, missed a game. He's really just started practicing here over the last week, basically. So, the whole offseason he practiced, but basically just for the last week of the season, he's practiced. So I think he's even going to get better as his conditioning improves. But like you said, he leads the nation in steals. He had 7 assists tonight. He got fouled 5 times. So he does so many things to help our team be successful. They're all important players, everybody is, but his impact all around on the game is really impressive.
Yeah, then you had 9 out of 10 players with at least 1 point.
Yeah.
4 double-digit scores. Talk about the depth that your team has, and especially how important that's going to be when coming into MAC play.
Yeah. I think we have a lot of balance, and I think we have a lot of guys who, like you said tonight, Myron had played so well these last couple games. It was what he did against Houston, battling an All-American, College of Charleston. He was all over the place. Tonight he didn't play as well as he had in those other nights. So I think, Vaughn played really well against Houston. Different guys on our roster have the ability to step up at different moments. As long as we keep sharing the basketball, we'll get good shots. So we're going to be able to shoot a good percentage as long as we keep getting good shots. And, as long as we continue to stay focused on, the most important thing, just trying to win and play for your teammates, compete as hard as you can, and not get caught up in your individual stats, then I think we have a lot of guys who are going to have really successful seasons.
What? Yeah, one more final question.
Yeah.
After this big win, what does it emphasize to the team going forward?
Yeah, just proud of how hard we played tonight. Again, coming off those 2 games, it's not easy to lose the games the way we did, and the game against Houston was literally, as physical a game as I've ever coached. On both ends, their team, our team. Guys were flying around all over the place. We came back the next day. It was like, it felt like watching our players that we had been in a boxing match for 12 rounds. Like that's what it felt like. So I'm glad the game was Friday and not Thursday, because we had some time to get ourselves right. And just proud of the way we played, because, again, I said it earlier, this is a really good team with tremendous, they have like championship DNA, that team. They won 30 games last year. So to make it look, I don't want to use the word easy because it's not easy, but, to make it look relatively easy says a lot about, our team, because this is a really good team we played who's, like I said, incredibly well coached, has championship DNA, and is going to win a ton of games in their league. So they just have a really tough schedule. So their record right now is not, quite indicative of how good a team they have. So, happy with how we played today for sure. Great. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you being here.